What's going on, guys? And today I am back with my top 15 WWE/WWF pay-per-views out of the ones I have. When I get all the pay-per-views, obviously I will do one with all the pay-per-views that I have. But right now I'm just doing it based on the pay-per-views and the events that I have. So the next video I do will be a top 10 of my favorite like documentaries, stuff like that, match compilations. So I'll do that. I'll probably record that video after I do this one, but I will wait until later on to upload it, and I'll upload this one first. So, anyways, in order, I already put them all in the order. So 15 to 1, obviously. We're gonna do this all in one shot. So I'll keep my brief highlights and why I like the pay-per-view to a minimum and really quick. I was gonna have an unboxing for you guys. Sadly, I don't. Hopefully, I'll get one in at least. I have 3 things coming. Hopefully, I'll get an unboxing in next week. But anyways, so yeah. Anyways, let's begin. So, starting off at number 15, Unforgiven 2003. Unforgiven 2003, I like the pay-per-view because when I first got the 2003 set, to be honest, this is pretty much the first 2003 pay-per-view that I actually watched. Aside from WrestleMania 19, this is the second one that I watched. I didn't even watch the Royal Rumble in no way yet. I watched this one after. And I like this one. In some aspects, I like this one more than WrestleMania 29, but in most, no. Just the energy of this pay-per-view I really liked. It was a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. And definitely the main matches that you had to look forward to on this show were it was pretty much a triple main event. It was one heavyweight championship match, Triple H versus Goldberg. Triple H loses, sorry, if Goldberg loses by DQ, if Goldberg loses, he leaves WWE. Triple H can lose the title by DQ or countout. Then you had last man standing match, Shane McMahon versus Kane, Legend versus Legend Killer match, Triple H, Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton, and then you had the triple threat match for the IC title, Jericho, Christian, Rob Van Dam, pretty good match. And you also had JR and the King versus Coach and Al Snow, 6-man table match, Scott Steiner and Test, and tag team Divas tag team match. Other than that, this pay per view had most of the matches on this pay per view were worth it. I really like this pay per view. Anybody who doesn't have Unforgiven 2003, I have an extra copy of this. I've been trying to get rid of for a while. But aside from that, if you don't have this pay per view, I'd go for it. It's not that expensive. You can get it in a 2-pack with SummerSlam 2003 for probably $15 brand new. So I go for it. It's a really good pay per view. Check it out. It's my number 15, Unforgiven 2003. Number 14, we have ECW One Night Stand 2005. Now I ranked this pay per view so low on my list as well. Really, I mean, it's a good show, but I really didn't. I just there's something about I don't know. I know the show I know is for in memory of ECW, but I don't know. It was kind of the pay per view. I like it, but I mean it's not a pay per view that I'll keep popping in. But every time I do watch it, I do. It is an awesome show, but it's not a show that I'd watch every week or every month. But obviously good matches. I'll get them off out of the way here. The good matches. The three-way dance between Super Crazy, Tajiri, and Little Guido. That was a really good match. Eddie Guerrero and Benoit was good, and Tommy Dreamer and Sandman versus the Dudleys. That was a good one. Lance Storm and Chris Jericho was an okay match, but I didn't like the ending. But match of the night, Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka. That match, unbelievable 5-star match. If you guys don't have this pay per view, you can get this in a 2-pack with the Rise and Fall of ECW for like $7, brand new. Get it. Rise and Fall of ECW makes it worth it alone, but this pay per view is another good thing. Go get this pay per view. It's really good. Love it. One Night Stands. 05. Coming in at number 13, you got Bad Blood 2004. Now, a lot of people put this pay per view, again, really low on their list. Some people don't even put it on their list. But I put it on mine because, I mean, not the best show, but it put a lot of people together that, at the time, I didn't really see, like, meshing well together. Like Chris Benoit and Kane World Heavyweight Championship match. Benoit and Edge versus La Resistance. That was an okay match. IC title match. Randy Orton and Shelton Benjamin was a good match. But you had Chris Jericho and Tyson Tomko, Eugene and Jonathan Coachman. Fatal 4 for the women's belt. But match of the night. An hour long. I want to sell Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. The end of the Shawn Michaels and Triple H feud. That was an awesome match. It makes this pay-per-view alone worth it. This is a very good pay-per-view, and I'd go for it. It's very good. Prices, this one's pretty pricey. It might be about $10, but it's a good pay-per-view. And a little side note, the cover here with Shawn Michaels on it is actually a little rarer than the cover. I think there's a cover with Edge on it. This cover is the one that's a little rarer. If you find it, it's a little rare, but not really that much. But anyway, so yeah, it's Bad Blood 4, my number 13 spot. Coming up at number 12, WrestleMania 20. Love this WrestleMania. It was the third WrestleMania that I got, I believe. I got 22, 19, and then this one. And this is a great show. And obviously highlights on WrestleMania 20. There's a lot of highlights. You got the Rock and Sock Connection 2-on-3 handicap tag match. That's a good match. The Cruiserweight Open was a great match. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar was a dud. No one wants to talk about it. WWE title match, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle was good. Undertaker versus Kane was okay. And then match of the night again, triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit versus Triple H. Great, amazing 5-star triple threat match. One of the best triple threat matches of all time. And then the whole the second half of the second disc filled with extras. The third disc filled with extras. Plus you get the Mania of WrestleMania documentary, which is a great It's a little 45-minute documentary. Great documentary, love it. Then there's WrestleMania's 10 greatest matches, hosted by Ric Flair, I believe. Another great. It's a really good DVD. Really good. I love it. It's one of my favorite WrestleManias. If I had a top 10, it would probably be around the 5-6 spot, but it's a really good WrestleMania. Can't recommend it enough. WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again. All right. Coming in at number 11, Survivor Series 2003. Probably the best pay-per-view of 2003, alongside, in my opinion, Unforgiven and WrestleMania. This pay-per-view was a stacked show, and it was stacked for a reason. This show, a lot to like on the show, such as we had Buried Alive match, Undertaker versus Mr. McMahon, the last appearance of the American Badass Undertaker. You had the Final Encounter ambulance match, Shane McMahon and Kane. Goldberg versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. Team Angle versus Team Lesnar. And not to mention, probably, again, match of the night, probably in my opinion, classic Survivor Series match, Stone Cold's team versus Bischoff's team. If Austin's team win, the Rattlesnake can whoop ass anytime you want. If Bischoff's team, Austin is no longer the co-GM of Raw. That is a great match. I love it. And again, this is a really good pay-per-view. Again, there's a 2-pack of this pay-per-view with No Mercy 2003. No Mercy 2003, another good show, but this one steals it. This show stealer with 2003. Not a really horrible match on the card, except for maybe the Women's Championship match. Not a horrible match on the card. Survivor Series 03, pick it up. Great show. Coming in at number 10, and it's number 10 because it has a lot of sentimental value to me, because it's the only show I've ever attended live. Unforgiven 2006. To me, I love this show. It's probably one of my favorite shows. And obviously, the two matches I went to go see, I went to this show for 2-on-3 Hell in a Cell match, D-Generation X versus McMahon's and Big Show, and the TLC match for the WWE Championship, Cena and Edge. Those two matches alone made this pay-per-view worth going to see. Also, you had Intercontinental Championship match. You had Jeff Hardy and Johnny Nitro. Jeff Hardy looking to capture the IC title. I mean, it was a good match. It was an okay match. And then you had some pretty good extras. You had Trish Stratus' farewell interview. You had some of the stuff from the Monday Night Raw before Unforgiven on the DVD. I love this pay-per-view. I loved this show. If I could fast rewind time, I'd go see this show all over again. Unforgiven 2006. My copy's actually a little old and run down. I might actually have to get a new copy because there's a lot of scratches on it, and the last one of the matches doesn't even work fully, doesn't even load properly. Coming in at number 9, you're going to notice probably a lot of pay-per-views from these two next years. Armageddon 2002. Now, only these two matches alone on the cover make this pay-per-view great. But let me just give you guys some of the reasons why this pay-per-view is awesome. First, you had the four-way elimination match of the World Tag Team titles. That was a pretty good match between Jericho and Christian, Booker T and Goldust, the Dudley Boys, Lance Storm and William Regal. You had Kane versus Batista. Batista's pretty much first pay-per-view match. Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero. Great match. You had WWE Championship match, Big Show versus Kurt Angle. That was a really good match too. But match of the night, Show Stealer. World Heavyweight Championship match, 2 out of 3 falls. First fall is a street fight. Second fall, steel cage. Third fall, if there was needed, a ladder match. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then you had some interviews and you had an extra match. You had the Fatal 4 elimination match to determine the number one contender from SmackDown on December 5th, 2002. Determine the winner, the number one contender for the title. This is a very good pay-per-view. This pay-per-view probably cost you $20 now, but this is a great pay-per-view. If you're looking for 2002 pay-per-views, I'd start off with the cheaper ones. This is one of the cheap ones you can get. Like No Mercy 2002 and Survivor Series 02 are pretty cheap. This one's a good one. I get this pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view that I could actually say I could recommend among a lot of the list. Get this pay-per-view really good. I have some reviews of most of these pay-per-views. I know I have a review. Sorry guys, just to interrupt there briefly. I have a review of Unforgiven 03 up. I know I have a review of Bad Blood 04. I have a review of WrestleMania 20. And I got a review of Armageddon 02. So, I didn't do reviews for Survivor Series and Unforgiven 06 yet. Actually, Unforgiven 06 I think I did a review for. Survivor Series 03 is the only one I didn't do a review for yet. Anyways, coming in at number, hold on guys, I actually lost counts. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Alright, sorry guys, got sidetracked. Coming in at number 8, World Wrestling Federation presents Invasion 2001. Now this pay-per-view was a landmark in sports entertainment and a night to remember, but this pay-per-view, as it says right there on the cover, WCW and the ECW versus the WWF, a collision course with history. The main event match, the match that everybody came to see, the inaugural brawl, WCW champion Booker T, Diamond Dallas Page, Rhino and the Dudley Boys versus WWF champion Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane. Now, basically this match, Stone Cold Steve Austin turned on the WWF and joined up with the Alliance, but this match is amazing. It's, again, close to an hour, a really good match, one of my favorite matches of in the WWF from 1999 to 2002. Favorite matches of the Attitude Era, one of my favorites. Really love this match. Hardcore Championship match with Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam. That was a really good match. I thought the light heavyweight title match wasn't the light heavyweight like cruiserweight and light heavyweight championship match. That wasn't a bad match. It's pretty good between Billy Kidman and X-Pac. The tag team titles was okay. The WCW referee Nick Patrick versus WWF referee Earl Hebner, pretty funny match. And you had Mike Awesome, tag team match, Mike Awesome and Lance Storm versus Edge and Christian. Last tag team match of Edge and Christian on a pay-per-view, to my knowledge. So yeah, this is a really good. Honestly, this is a really good pay-per-view. I got my copy for. How much did I get this pay-per-view for? $25. 28 or $25 I got it for, and again, used like acceptable condition, but again, it looks pretty much perfect with an insert. Invasion 2001, my number 8 pick. Coming up at number 7, smash the DVD. Coming up at number 7, SummerSlam 2001. Finally, you got The Rock there. Let the bodies hit the floor, which is basically the tagline of the show. And the reason why this pay-per-view is so amazing, let me start you guys off with. First, the WWF Hardcore Championship ladder match, Jeff Hardy versus Rob Van Dam. This is one of my favorite matches of the show. First ever WWF versus WCW Tag Team Championship Steel Cage match for basically for the undisputed tag team titles. Undertaker and Kane versus DDP and Canyon. Love that Steel Cage match. WCW Championship match, Booker T versus The Rock was another good match. But the match of the night, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle for the WWF Championship. Amazing match. That's a 5-star match. Love that match. The chemistry those two had, amazing and unbeatable. Again, this pay-per-view, another one of the first 2001s that I got. Glad I got the pay-per-view so early. This one's getting really cheap now. I've seen this one for maybe $15. I'd go for it. It's WWF pay-per-view, which makes it rare. It's a good pay-per-view at that, and it's during the Invasion, which is another reason why I get this pay-per-view. Really good. Love this show. SummerSlam 2001. My number 7 pick. The list is going down, guys. We're almost done here. We're at we got these left. I'm gonna try and make these pretty quick now because we're running up pretty high on time here. So I'm gonna make the last couple quicker. Coming in at number 6, SummerSlam 2002, Rock versus Brock. Matches to look out for on this pay-per-view: Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. Good match. RVD versus Chris Benoit in the Intercontinental Championship match. Good match. Undisputed Championship: The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. But match of the night, non-sanctioned match: Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. Great match, unbelievable match. 5 stars. Love it. This pay-per-view, probably one of the best SummerSlams of all time. Pretty much my personal favorite, alongside with SummerSlam 2001. It's my personal favorite. These two are my favorite SummerSlams, but this one I just like a little bit more. SummerSlam 2002, good show. I don't see this one that often on Amazon. I've seen it on Second Spin a few times. This one doesn't pop up that much, so I'd go for it while you can, guys. It's a great show. Coming in at number 5. Top 5 here. We got Survivor Series 2002. 2002 is a lot on my list because 2002 is my favorite year. But the reason why you guys came, the people in Madison Square Garden came to watch this show, right there on the cover. Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H versus Chris Jericho versus Kane versus Booker T versus RVD versus Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is an amazing match. The first Elimination Chamber, also the best because it was the first. Love that match. I watch this pay-per-view at least once a month just to watch that match because I love that match so much. And also matches to look out for. You had the WWE Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Big Show. Although it was short, it was a pretty good match. 6-man table match was good. Jeff Hardy versus Bubba Ray Dudley, Spike Dudley versus 3-minute warning and Rico. The triple threat elimination WWE Tag Team Championship match. Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle and Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero and Chavo. That's a good match too. This pay-per-view is a stacked card just like SummerSlam 2002. 2002 was a year of stacked cards. So I'd get this pay-per-view while you can. It's a cheap one. Coming in at number 4, WrestleMania 19. 2 discs. This show, again, very good because it had a lot of endings to it. Such as pretty much these last 5 matches are the reason why I love this show. Triple Threat WWE Tag Team Championship match. That's a good match between Charlie Hawk and the World's Greatest Tag Team, Los Guerreros and Chris Benoit and Rhino. You had Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, one of my favorite matches of the night. World Heavyweight Title, Triple H versus Booker T. That was a good match. Street Fight, 20 years in the making. Hulk Hogan and Mr. McMahon, just like on the cover there. That was another really entertaining match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, which in my opinion was the match of the night. I loved that match. I thought Stone Cold should have won, to be honest. And WWE Championship match main event, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. WrestleMania 19. This is a definitely cheap pay-per-view you can find now. How long it's going to be cheap, I don't know. I'd recommend picking up WrestleMania 19. This is a great show. In my top 10 WrestleManias, it's probably in the number 5 to 1. I love WrestleMania 19. It's one of my favorites. Coming in at number 3, Vengeance 2001, one undisputed champion. The reason why this show is so great, one reason, the WWF Hardcore Championship match, Rob Van Dam versus The Undertaker. Love that match. Tag team title match was pretty good between the Dudley Boys and Big Show and Kane. You had Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. IC title, Edge versus William Regal. But the 3 main events, the triple main event, WWF Championship match, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. World Championship match, The Rock versus Chris Jericho, which was the better out of the first 2 matches. And then final championship match to determine the undisputed champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Chris Jericho. When Chris Jericho defied the odds and the ultimate underdog, in my opinion, became the first ever undisputed World Wrestling Federation champion. Guys, this is one of the most expensive pay-per-views that I have. So this one is not that cheap. Right now I've seen it for about $35. I'd wait for it to go a little more down in price, but I love this pay-per-view a lot. And that's why it's so low on the list. Like, it's so high. Like, it's number 3. This is a great show. Pick it up, guys. Coming in at number 2, WrestleMania 17. Special 2 DVD set. Get the insert out here, guys, because all the matches again aren't labeled on the front. And now, like, just one just popped out. And just one just popped out again. You don't watch out for this. Send a damn DVD or something. So yeah, matches here. Yeah, Chris Jericho versus William Regal IC title. That was a pretty good match. Triple Threat Hardcore Championship match. One of my favorite hardcore title matches. Raven versus Big Show versus Kane. European title match. That was kind of a throwaway. Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit was a good match. Women's title. Another throwaway. Street fight. Shane McMahon versus Mr. McMahon. That was a really good match. That was basically the start of the Invasion angle. The start. Like that was the first seed of the Invasion angle. TLC 2, probably one of the matches of the night. Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys. The Gimmick Battle Royal, that one match was, it was okay for, it was humor purposes, it was okay. And then the two main events, the co-main event, Triple H versus The Undertaker, the first time they wrestled. Don't deny it, WWE. It's right there in writing, right there, Triple H versus Undertaker. And then the main event match of the night, easily, the WWF Championship match. No disqualification. Right there on the cover. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Austin became heel, made the deal with the devil, shook Mr. McMahon's hand. This pay-per-view, I love this pay-per-view. Got this pay-per-view for only $30, which is a cheap price compared to how much other people have probably paid for this show. This show is, again, another one of my favorites. If I had to choose some DVDs to save if my house is on fire, this would be one of them that I'd grab. Because I really love this DVD a lot. So, this pay-per-view, WrestleMania 17, but now, number 1 favorite pay-per-view of all time, and anybody who's been following my channel since a while ago, since probably last summer, knows what my favorite pay-per-view of all time is. And that show, after I fixed it, WrestleMania 18, Icon versus Icon, March 17th, 2002, the one and only in the Skydome in Toronto. Pay-per-view was stacked. It is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. And the reason why, I'll tell you why. Kane versus Kurt Angle, good match. Ric Flair versus Undertaker, good match. Edge versus Booker T, okay match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall, good match. 4-team elimination match for the tag title, good match. Triple threat match for the women's title, that was a pretty good match. Rock versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Icon versus Icon, that was another good match. And the Undisputed WWE Championship match, Chris Jericho versus Triple H, another good match. The IC title match between William Regal and Rob Van Dam was pretty good. Even the European title, DDP and Christian, that was even a good match. Pay-per-view. All the matches on this pay-per-view, save for maybe Edge and Booker T, they were good matches. Like you bought the pay-per-view and you said, okay, that was a good match. Let's see what else they have. This is my favorite pay-per-view, guys. If you do not have any of the pay-per-views, that I told you about right here, I'd get them all if you can, but get this one first. This pay-per-view right now is up on Amazon.ca for you Canadian users like me for $15. Go on there, buy this pay-per-view. You will not regret it. It'll be one of your favorite WrestleManias, just like me. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching my countdown here. So just to briefly go over, number 1, WrestleMania 18. Number 2, WrestleMania 17. 3, Vengeance 2001. 4, WrestleMania 19. 5, Survivor Series 2002. Sorry, guys. 6, SummerSlam 2002. 7, SummerSlam 2001. 8, Invasion 2001. 9, Unforgiven 2006. 10, Survivor Series 2003. 11, WrestleMania 20. 12, Bad Blood 2004. I think I might have mixed up the count, guys, but then you have Armageddon 2002, One Night Stand, and Unforgiven 03. These pay-per-views right here. Sorry, they're a little bit out of order. Let me just flip them around so you can see the spines and stuff. These pay-per-views right here, guys. Out of the pay-per-views that I have, these are my top 15 favorite pay-per-views. If you don't have these pay-per-views, get them, guys. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Top 15 favorite pay-per-views. My next video will be top 10 favorite documentaries. Top 15 pay-per-views, sorry. Next video will be my top 10 favorite documentaries. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.